Oh, it's a great Friday. Kevin Thomas, BJ Bennett, Ben Troop, glad you are with us. A short 3 and out today as we get you ready for Braves baseball. We'll have it for you coming up. Now, PJ is not on the show. That was a bad joke, Christian Gokel. We will have Braves baseball coming up for you here at 3:20. Game 1 of the 5 against, we hope, 5 or less for the Braves if it's in their favor against the Milwaukee Brewers. Charlie Morton gets the call this afternoon, try to get the Braves off on a positive note against Corbin Burns. We've just got the starting lineup. Jorge Soler is going to take the first pitch leading off today for the Braves. BJ, it's game day. How you feeling?
Well, first off, Kevin, I don't want to hear you be professional or modest or calm. Listen, 4 straight division titles. The playoffs start today. Atlanta was right there on the verge of a World Series bid, and you have a team that has shown a great ability down the stretch to rally past the Phillies, hold off the Phillies and the Mets, and I think now you feel confident. Listen, the records from the regular season don't matter. I know a lot of people have said, oh, well, the Braves only have so many wins. Okay, they're in the playoffs. You're hitting the reset button, and this is a team with really good starting pitching. Charlie Morton has been fantastic. You look at the offense. I mean, we were talking earlier when the lineup was posted on social media. There isn't a hole in the lineup. I mean, you're starting with Jorge Soler. You talk about going right into Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, MVP candidate, of course, with Austin Riley, Adam Duvall, the National League RBI leader, and then you get into Rosario and Swanson and d'Arnaud. I mean, there's great reason for optimism, reason to be excited. This is a team that has won in the postseason. These are guys that know what it takes to win on this stage. Charlie Morton, a veteran. And Kevin, you brought in Charlie Morton. You're paying Charlie Morton not necessarily to win games, in the middle of the summer, to win games like tonight. So, Ben, this is what it's all about. Playoff time. You, of course, have experienced the playoffs at the professional level. It's a different intensity, a different just set of circumstances, a different spotlight, and I think the Braves are ready.
Yes, the Braves are ready. I mean, when you look at the type of season they had, all the controversy they had to deal with and still find themselves in this position, give Alex Anthopoulos a lot of credit, give Snit a lot of credit through all the turmoil. They find themselves in the same position they've been in the last 4 years. Look, if you are a Braves fan, if you are a Braves enthusiast, you have a reason to be arrogant. I don't care what nobody else is doing. The Braves weren't in the play-in game. The Dodgers were. The Yankees were. I mean, the Yankees are not in it because they had to be in a play-in game. If you are a Braves fan right now, you've earned it. Listen, this is with no Acuna. This is with no Soroka. This is with no Marcell Ozuna. And they still find themselves in the same position. Now, that has nothing to do with what happens in the playoffs, but I mean, Kevin, when you think about everything that went on in this season, if somebody would, Kevin, you didn't get to watch the Braves this year, which I know that is just a slow and painful death. I understand that. But if you just had to listen, hey, man, what? Win, loss, win, loss. Why they keep doing that? Well, they're not good or bad. They're kind of like in the middle. Then post-All-Star break started finding their way. Then you started talking about a guy in Will Smith who was fourth in the majors and say, BJ, I know he is both good and terrible, but we will take it. If you look at this situation, I just give the hardest thing to do is to win. And what's even harder to do is to win consistently. And the Braves have proven that they can win consistently. Now, you've done what you're supposed to do to get to the show. Now you're at the show. Now, you're going to need everything to be firing on all cylinders. Can you be as good as your weakest link, which we know what the Braves' weakest link is, but you see what I'm wearing today. And these are not patches that I had painted on there. Somebody go, hey, man, where'd you get them patches from? I'm sorry, the Braves have won a World Series. It's not recently, but they were 3 outs away or whatever from going to the World Series a year ago. So I give this Braves team a lot of credit. Hopefully they're coming in loose. Hopefully these guys are coming in confident to know that you can add new pieces, new faces. Those guys blend right in. They add to the culture. Freddie Free. Listen, Freddie Free is playing with house money now, Kevin. Still ain't got that new contract yet. But I just like the way this team is built from top to bottom. I like the fact that these guys seem to play for each other. You got bats that can. Freddie Free can have a down game. You got other guys in that lineup that can really hurt you. The Brewers ain't gonna go quietly into the night. I'm not saying that, but you got to feel confident with the Braves teams, Kevin. That listen, new circumstances, new year. Same result back in the playoffs.
Yeah, and again, as you said, BJ Appley, you got Charlie Morton for this. I remember back at the beginning of the season, people were like, oh, man, Charlie Morton's really struggling. This is what we paid, another 15. It was, it was going to be just another retread of a guy. And why did you spend all that money? No, you paid him for now. You paid him to pitch well in the regular season. but you paid him for now. He's game one starter against the Brewers. Braves are 3-3 against the Brewers in the regular season, so it hasn't really tilted one way or another, but you paid him for now. And as we've seen already, postseason baseball, this is what's going to be weird. It gets managed a whole lot differently than regular season baseball. Max Scherzer, 92 pitches in the first 4 or 5 innings. In a playoff game, it's 1-1. He gets taken out. Adam Wainwright, dealing against the Dodgers, gets taken out. Why? Because everything's, we can't have him face the lineup a third time through. It doesn't matter. All of that. We heard that yesterday. The Astros, Lance McCullers, dealing against the White Sox, and you start hearing people say, it's the third time through the order. It's 6-0. Let him go. And so I wonder if Charlie Morton is pitching well. Do they let him go? That hasn't been the kind of the current way to manage things. It is you pitch, third time in the order comes up, and you start looking to micromanage those last 9 to 12 outs or so.
Great point. It's hard to know, and it'll be kind of a feel of the game thing, I think, for Snit. But I look at it like this. Charlie Morton knows why he was brought to Atlanta. Like you mentioned, it's to pitch in the playoffs. Charlie Morton has a lot of momentum. He has been great down the home stretch of the regular season. He's 37 or 38 years old, has been in the playoffs a number of times with Tampa. This is a guy that gets it, that understands what it takes. And I think if he gets some runners on in the middle innings, okay, you know what that's called? Baseball. If he gives up a run or two, okay, that's called baseball. He's a veteran, and he has the ability to work through these things. So from my standpoint, I would like to see Morton be given the nod and the benefit of the doubt. Hey, man, if you can give us 100, 110 pitches, let's see it. You've worked for your entire career for moments like this, and you've starred in moments like this. I have faith in the Braves bullpen. I do. I think you have guys that have been really good, and Ben does make a fair point about Will Smith. It's been iffy at times, but he still has the numbers, and we'll see how we're all feeling if it's 3-2 in the 9th inning, a couple of hours from now. But look, trust Charlie Morton, and then moving forward tomorrow, Max Fried, Ian Anderson, these guys have earned that. These guys have shown that they're ready for this, and especially Morton, a guy that's been in the league for a decade and a half. Ben, I think you give him the ball, say go get him, and you let this man pitch.
Everybody knows the area of concern when you talk about the Braves, right? Everybody knows that the Braves' weakest link is the guy that comes out last. But he's been more successful than we give him credit for. Kevin, I'm gonna ask you, because I don't know if I've been asking you this, since the Braves have been winning the NL East. What do the Braves have to do? Not name, we know Will Smith, but what is something that is not obvious to the onlooker that you think has to happen for the Braves to have success to advance past this division round?
Well, I think what you hope happens is what Alex Anthopoulos did at the trade deadline pays off for you. And that is you quietly brought guys in. I think all but Jock Peterson is in the lineup today, but you got Rosario, you got Soler, you got Duvall. And we talk about the power numbers all the time. This infield, the guys in the outfield. I mean, we talk about the infield. Adam Duvall hit almost 40 home runs this year. Jorge Soler, since he's come to the Braves, I think if you can bludgeon the baseball, that is a key to success outside of the pitching, and it kind of takes it out of Will Smith's hands. Again, what got the Braves last year? It wasn't that their pitching wasn't good. It was at the end of the day, the Dodgers lineup just absolutely tears the cover off the ball, and eventually you're going to hang a pitch and they're going to take advantage of it. And I think that's what this Braves team can do is look, there's not a sigh. Okay, we got the catcher up, we can take a break. No, Travis d'Arnaud's got 20 home run power. Dansby Swanson's hit 30 home runs. There is no break in the lineup. It is playoff baseball on steroids because you can't look at somebody and say, this is an easy out. Maybe Charlie Morton, but 1 through 8, there's not a sigh of relief. Okay, we finally got here. We need to get it out. No, you got to be on from the jump or anybody can take you deep. And BJ, that can make it 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, 4-1 real quick if this Braves team does it. And I think we've seen it sometimes in years past. I'd like to say this. Seems like anymore, yes, you win with good pitching, but great hitting in 2021 baseball can win you a lot of games in the postseason.
And you love the depth of the lineup. Like you said, it's everybody. I mean, your guy batting first led the American League in home runs a couple of years ago. Then you're talking about Freddie Freeman, the reigning MVP. Then you're talking about Ozzie Albies, the perennial all-star. Then you're talking about one of the leading MVP candidates for this year, Austin Riley. Then you're talking about the the league leader in RBI in Adam Duvall. Then you're talking about Rosario, who's been a great addition. Then it's d'Arnaud, I believe. Then Swanson, guys who have 20, 25, 30 home run power. It's incredible and something to think about. You mentioned Jock Peterson. I know in the past there have been times where the Braves have needed, a big moment off the bench, and maybe you haven't had that power bat. Jock Peterson not only has great power, he also has won in the playoffs, has a World Series. So you're telling me that if you need a hit late, you can go to the bench and bring a guy like Jock Peterson, who's done it in the biggest spotlight in baseball, right up to the plate. I think this is a team that's built for success. This is a team that I don't care about the records. This is a team that should feel confidently tonight and moving forward, regardless of who they play. But game one's so important in these best of 5 series. Need to get it done this afternoon.
I got a chance to play in the playoffs one time in my very, very short NFL career, and somebody said something that I think holds true. And no matter what playoff, no matter if you ever make it to playoffs, they say you want to be a star, yeah, go out there and do your thing in the regular season. You want to be a legend, yeah, do it in the playoffs. You want to be legendary, do it in the playoffs. Because I know that's unfair, but I mean, Kevin, we know Kevin doesn't like Big Papi for 2 reasons. One, he's a pinch hitter. 2, he's a pinch hitter. But Big Papi became Big Papi in the playoffs. Like,
true.
Hey, dude, this. And so for me, that's how pivotal it is. It's like, look, man, we know how great you are. Now the world is watching. And I think if it's so many guys on this Braves team that got a shot to be, have legendary status attached to their name. I mean, reigning MVP and Freddie Freeman, Austin Riley MVP candidate, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, Soler, Duvall, you name them, the Braves got them. But Mr. Will Smith, you 4th in the majors in saves. It's time to go out there and earn your money. Go out there and go out there and be legendary. But it starts. They ain't gonna get it all in game 1, but it does. But that momentum does start tonight. Try to get that thing moving. Try to get that thing moving tonight. Kevin and BJ with a big dub, game 1.
Yeah, Charlie Morton, Corbin Burns, your pitching matchup. We're about an hour and 25 minutes away from first pitch. It's time to get fired up. We'll send you out to Milwaukee Braves and Brewers game 1 coming up next. We'll see you Monday to maybe recap it all. Maybe we'll have Braves baseball again as they play or scheduled to play Monday afternoon. But Braves and Brewers game 1 coming up next.